This is Wailord. It was released in 2022's Silver Tempest set, and despite still being in Standard as of making this video, it hasn't seen any competitive play. Well, it hasn't seen any competitive play in Standard. In Gym Leader Challenge, a format created by Tricky Gym's Andrew Mahome, which has actually become a pretty common side event at official Pokemon tournaments, Wailord is pretty good. For those unfamiliar, there are three main rules to Gym Leader Challenge. The first is no rule box cards. This means no Pokemon EX, no Pokemon V, no Radiance, no Prism Star cards, none of that sort of thing. The second rule is that you're only allowed to play one copy of each card. In Standard, you can play 4 copies of a card, but in Gym Leader Challenge, you can only play 1. The final major rule is that you're only allowed to play one type of Pokemon. So, if you make a Fighting type deck, you can only play Fighting type Pokemon. If you choose Water as your type to play, you can include a copy of Wailord. What makes Wailord so strong is that it was built to stand alongside the Pokemon V it was released with. It has similar health and similar damage, but it only gives up one prize card. The issue with Wailord, and the reason why it hasn't seen any play, is that it's too slow. It's a stage 1 Pokemon that requires 4 energy to attack. But in Gym Leader Challenge, where the Pokemon V it was meant to stand up against are banned, Wailord has barely any competition. The first thing to note is its 200 health, except it's actually more like 230 health because of its ability Jumbo-sized, which lets Wailord take 30 less damage from all attacks. Now, 230 health is really big. In Gym Leader Challenge, most basic and stage 1 Pokemon have about 130 health, and the best decks are those that can quickly and consistently hit this 130 number. Then you have Wailord, who is effectively double that amount of health, and when most decks in Gym Leader Challenge are dealing about 120 to 180 damage, it's very rare that Wailord gets knocked out in one hit. And if you can't knock out a Wailord in one hit, it can always be healed back up to full with cards like Rough Seas or Mallow and Lana. However, there is one very prevalent card in Gym Leader Challenge that can consistently one-shot a Wailord. It's Wailord. That's right, not only does this thing have the health of a tank, it also hits like one. Special Wave costs 4 energies and does 120 damage. But if one of those energies is a special energy, the attack does 240 damage. 240 damage pretty much obliterates everything in Gym Leader Challenge. And it's not that difficult to get special energies onto Wailord. There are plenty of great options such as Recycle Energy, which goes back to your hand after it gets discarded from play, or Splash Energy, which puts Wailord back into your hand after it gets knocked out, or even something like Reversal Energy, which, if you're behind on prizes, covers 3 out of the 4 energy required for Special Wave. So, with incredible HP and awesome damage, what's the downside to Wailord? Well, it's slow. Even in Gym Leader Challenge, which is slower than Standard, you can't exactly spend 5 turns setting up a stage 1 and then attaching 4 energies to it. But fortunately for Wailord, Water has some incredible tools to help in the setup process. There are cards like Arita, which searches your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card, or something like the Inteleon line, which has the incredible Shady Dealings ability, which can search your deck for any trainer cards you might need. Additionally, Water has some of the best energy acceleration in the format, with cards like Aqua Patch or abilities like Frostmoth and Baxcaliburs. With all these tools supporting it, Wailord is pretty busted in Gym Leader Challenge, and any deck needs to have an answer to the whale if it wants to be competitive. But, I mean, look on the bright side. Journey Together releases next month. Maybe there's a cool card in that can counter Wailord? Oh, they made a better one. Okay.